Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Football Man Sam. My name's Sam, as you know, and we have another video today. Now, in today's video, we are going to be discussing the non-league playoffs. Obviously, with me being a Yeovil Town fan, I thought it'd be something that I would address, for the non-league fans out there. So I'm going to start by analysing the elimination rounds, which is Yeovil Town versus Barnet and Boreham Wood versus FC Halifax. So I'm going to run through what I think is going to happen in the games and a few stats to possibly look out for in the games. So we're going to start with Yeovil Town versus Barnet. Now, this is going to be a quite a close game because Barnet have only lost one of the last 6 games. So they're coming into it with good form. They finished 11th. So some of you may be thinking, well, how did they manage to get in the playoffs? They managed to get in the playoffs on the points per game system. Obviously, with the season being cancelled, they got on a points per game ratio from 11th, so they could count themselves a little bit lucky to be in there. But they've took their chance, and I'm sure they will try their best. So it's going to be one of those. Yeovil have only won 2 of the last 6 games, so again they're not coming into it, in the best form. But on Yeovil's side, they have kept 3 clean sheets in the last 3 games, so they're not scoring, but they're not conceded, And Yeovil tend to score late on in games. They've scored over 29% of their goals in the last 15 minutes. So that just goes to show that they don't predominantly score a lot of goals. There's been a few games where we've scored 2 or 3, but predominantly we're not high scorers. So I see this being a very, very tight game. Yeovil have got one of the top goal scorers in the league, Reece Murphy. I think he's on 17 goals this season, which is fantastic for us Yeovil, obviously. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a different game, obviously, with no fans. So I do see this being a really tight game. I don't see a lot of goals being scored. So based on the stats, what I've just said, and based on me being a Yeovil fan, being a little bit biased, but I do think Yeovil will come out on top. So I've gone for a narrow 1-0 victory, which would then see them go on to Knox County, which we will discuss in a little bit. So we're going to move on to the next elimination round, which is Boreham Wood versus FC Halifax. Now, Boreham Wood go into this not the better form. They've only won one of the last 5 home games, which was against fellow playoff team Yeovil Town. So their home form recently hasn't been brilliant. And again, they're similar to Yeovil. They've scored over 25% of their goals in the last 15 minutes. So which again goes to show that they tend to be late pushers in games. I believe their top goal scorer is Kabongo Tashimango. I think I've pronounced that right. Tashimanga. I think so. He's on 19 goals. I think he's the top goal scorer in the Vanarama National League, I believe. So even though their home form's not brilliant, they do have a striker who will score goals. Because obviously, and then we move over to Halifax. They've only won 2 of their last 5 away games, scoring 5 and conceding 8. So I do only see a home win, because even Halifax's top goal scorer, Cameron King, he's only got 7 goals. It's not bad, but if you compare it to the Tashimanga, who's got 19 goals, it's not brilliant. So I do see Boreham Wood coming out on top. I do see Halifax scoring though, so I've gone for a 2-1 Boreham Wood victory, which would then see them go through to the semi-final playoffs versus Harrogate, which I'll discuss in a minute. But we're going to move on to the first semi-final, which would be Knox County versus Yeovil Town. Obviously, Knox County automatically got into the semi-finals with being in the top 3. Sorry. So they automatically had their place in the semi-final. They're probably one of the best informed teams in the league. They've won 4 of their last 5 home games, scoring 11 and only conceding 2. And scoring 11. So I think this is going to be a very hard game for Yeovil. Knox County's top goal scorer is Kyle Wootton, I think. He's got 13 goals. But they do also have 2 other players who've got 10 and above goals, I believe. So it just goes to show that they have got goal scorers in and around their team, not just the one. they again, like many other teams, tend to score a lot of their goals quite late on in the last 15. They've got over 24% of their goals scored in the last 15 minutes. So I with it being against my team is hard, but YEOVIL's away form is not brilliant. They've only won 2 of the last 5 away games, and they've only scored 3. So which just goes to show YEOVIL don't score on the road a lot. I thought long and hard about this from being a YEOVIL fan, but you've got to give credit to Knox County with their form, and being at Knox County, even though there's going to be no fans, it's still going to be a tough ask for YEOVIL. I do see Knox County coming out on top. I've gone for a 2-0 Knox County win. I think they just have a little bit too much for us YEOVIL, especially with their form and the players they've got, goal scorers around the pitch. I just see there being a little bit too much for YEOVIL to do, which would then obviously see Knox County go through to the playoff final, which I'm now going to discuss the other semi-final, which would be then Harrogate Town versus BROMWELL, who I predicted to beat HALIFAX. Harrogate are going into the playoffs with some good form again. They've won 3 of the last 5 home games, scoring 8 and only conceding 3. So it goes to show that their defence is tight. They tend to score goals. They've scored over 21% of their goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half. So it goes to show that Harrogate like to start the second half strong. They like to put the team under pressure straight from the kickoff, which can be huge because it can be damaging for the opposite team. Harrogate's top goal scorer is Jack Malden, I think. He's got 13 goals. So, again, they've got a proven goal scorer. But also what will help Harrogate is their home form throughout the whole season. They've won 12 of their wins this season have come at home, out of their 19 wins in total. So they've got 19 wins, but 12 of them have come at home, which goes to show that when they do play at their stadium, they are strong and hard to beat. But on the other hand, BROMWELL's away form isn't the worst. You know, they've won 3 of the last 5 games. They've scored 9. They have conceded 6. So again, it goes to show that they do leak goals, but they do score goals. So based on what I've just discussed, I've gone for a 2-1 Harrogate Town victory, which would then see the playoff final being a Harrogate Town versus Knox County. Now, I think this is going to be a tough game. Really tight. I do see Knox County having just that little bit more quality, as I've discussed, with 3 players having over 10 goals. I do see them being a little bit too strong. Not too strong like against YEOVIL, I think they would be. But I see Knox County coming out victors in this game. I've gone for a Knox County 1, Harrogate Town 0, which would then see Knox County bounce straight back up to the Football League 2, which would be brilliant for them. That's my prediction. You know, you fellow non-league fans, not even non-league, even if you just follow non-league, and you know you might disagree with some of my choices, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to see what you guys think. If you did obviously enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button, and if you haven't already, make sure you do subscribe, because I do post weekly videos discussing all sorts of football matters. I did video yesterday recording a podcast with Football United TV. I had so much fun doing that. So there's lots to come from myself. So make sure you are subscribed to not miss a video. But until then, guys, this video is finished. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao.